What's up fam, it's All Clouded and we are episode 33. We've had a pretty stellar week this week, and I managed to, basically since the last video, implement the change that I wanted to do. Did a respec my bot, switched it up in the modules. So what we'll do, we'll dive down and we'll take a look. So no milestone runs for the week. I was actually wanting to do it because it's been pretty chill week, playing a bit of Path of Exile with the new league coming out, but I just end up getting too stuck on it and haven't really gotten around to it. So let's go to the stats. Boom, almost 30Q. We would be very close, because I actually I'm recording this as of Saturday night, my country, and the last video I think I recorded on Sunday, so we're somewhere, I'm thinking somewhere around the 4Q for the week, maybe close to the 5Q. So it's been a pretty good week. 24k stones, and here's the runs. So still on the tier 11. This 11k, I'm not farming to 11k. You can't get to 11k runs in. What I actually did is I tried seeing how long I could survive, so that I could do like this kind of buzz. And I know it does work for some people. It's not currently working for me. Doesn't mean that it won't. It just means just at the stage that I'm at, or how things are currently set up, it's not. But this has been the winner. So I was sitting around that 300 trill a week, and now I'm kind of, a week, 300 trill a run for two 12 hour runs, so it's about 600 trill a day. So now I'm getting about 700 trill a day. So we're not quite close to that 1Q a day mark, but we're better off than where we were. So we had to make a little bit of a switch up, and we can take a look at it when we go around. So for the tourneys history, we've managed to stay in Legends the last few ones. Now I've been reading a bit of stuff on the Discord and that, and it seems like there's some sorts of bugs or something that people are talking about. I'm not really sure. I don't actually know. I don't know how the hell I'm staying in Legends from going from this carry on. You know, we got a couple double ups, but not really too sure. And then all of a sudden we're kind of just sitting about here. Maybe it has something to do with the chrono field. Not really too sure. Yeah, but hey, look, I'll take it, eh? I'll take it, because that's definitely what we didn't want to do, was keep bouncing it back and forth. But a few people were talking about some battle conditions maybe, or something to do with some sort of bugs that are creeping in, and it's giving people a bit of a rough time. I mean, I don't even know. I haven't really noticed anything. Maybe that's why I have been hanging around in Legends. Maybe there's some sorts of bugs that affect certain builds and certain not. Not really too sure. But yeah, we'll take it. We've been doing pretty good. Hopefully we can keep it up for the event, where I'm kicking myself because I went to I was gonna get the event pass in the last one. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna get it. And then I was like, actually I do want those relics, and especially with the changes to Golden Bot. And then you know how you get this notification like in run, where you're like that, and you get that notification like anytime you see this stuff, you can't help but click on it. Well, I got that notification and I was like, hey, I've completed it. Didn't even realize the new one had started. The new skin looks pretty cool. Where is it? I mean, most of you guys have probably already seen it. Is it this one? Ooh. Looks pretty sick, especially with like all the colors. Like, I reckon it'll look cool if you had like smart missiles and all that sort of stuff. Hopefully they have fixed the performance in the game where, you know, backgrounds aren't causing too much issues. I know after V27 come out, I felt like when I'd put the game on my phone, it would run really well. But after these latest versions, like maybe 0.3 or 0.4, whatever we're up to now. What are we up to now? We are up to 0.4. All of a sudden my phone's gotten back to getting really hot. So whatever they're doing, yeah, I'm not too sure. But look, it is what it is. It's actually pretty crazy if you've seen how I run it on my phone. I've got this like an actual cooling unit for my spare phone. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, events, we all know how this goes. Complete your events, guys. I'm not going to buy any of these. Golden bots sitting here. So what you will notice with MVN, and you probably would have noticed it from that little intro, is MVN with the ancestral substats and GT and Deathwave at 100-second cooldown, Black Hole at 50-second cooldown, gives you a sync of 65 seconds. So yes, we are running sync. Now I didn't quite use the path, all I did was just I respect, I gold box this because we want as much range as possible. I got this to 65 seconds. I did have to pick up another lab, level in the lab, and that's why I didn't complete my golden bot lab, because I did think, hey look, one day we might actually run a sync and I'll just leave it there so that it'll make it a little bit easier. And then on this side of the front, I definitely need a lot of uptime. So I kind of just bounced in between. Now there's probably more of a min-max way to do it, but I'd love to have like at least another 5 seconds. I can't remember what this is at max. This might be like 40 or 45 seconds at max, but I'd like to get that up just for the sync that I'm running. Yeah, cute little whatever that is, octopus thing. And then relics. Now I know you guys have already seen this. This is actually helpful now. Before it was like meh. I don't really need regen. Crit factor, yeah, not bad. 2%'s a bit light. 5% cash bonus. Yeah, I suppose you could use it for project funding. But I don't, yeah. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Now, yes. As always, I forgot to do myth. I do that every time. What do we do here, fam? I feel like we just got like that. Yeah, we'll just roll with that, eh? Bounty. I've heard some people have been playing around with this at the moment, and they are like finding it, you know, it's like doing okay, or they're trying to crunch numbers and stuff. Oh god, I just yawned. That's how old I am, fam. Well, you will know it's so I was pulling modules, trying to get the. This is what annoys me. I was pulling modules for the new module, and then I sat there and thought, "Damn it! I actually don't think I need this." You know, and it's fine to pull stuff that you might not need now, but you're gonna need in the future. But I actually can't see. With how things are going and currently where I'm at, I actually can't see a place for it in the future for me. Maybe it's some sort of assist mod, like what a few of the other guys are doing. But yeah, so I've actually decided this morning, I was like, that's it, I'm not pulling anymore. But I think most of your guys' shops are going to be looking like this. I haven't picked up the relics yet. I say tower health, that's probably the last thing to pick up. Crit factor. Yeah, that's a really good one. I just want the econ stuff first, and I'm sure most of you guys are the same. And if you are more newer to the game, you probably want to pick these up. I would highly recommend fetch first, especially in the early game. Leveling up your modules is fairly cheap. But I'm also not sure how bounty performs. I'm sure if it's based on a multiplier, then it'll be relative to the coins that you're earning at the moment. So yeah, I'd definitely say fetch first. Bro, look how much these are in my country. Crazy. Workshop. So now we're getting to the good stuff. So so what's changed in here? Almost everything is exactly the same as it has been. If you're unsure, it's a Orbless Devo build. So like you've devolved your workshop, or you're basically taking stuff off it, so it can help you. You know, what's the easy way to explain it? So the idea of running a Devo or an Orbless or some sort of strategy that isn't just get everything gold, turn everything on, so on and so forth, is that you're actually looking to time your kills. So all of this stuff here, this is all taken off because otherwise I'll just kill things too fast, and I'm actually trying to let a lot of the mobs on the screen, like I'm tanky enough that I can tank hits, and I'm actually just trying to time the kills. I do put levels in this, and that's just to help the free ups along. I'm actually wondering if I should maybe dial these back. Oh, I don't really know. And I do have some levels in that. So this tab hasn't changed. Everything's gold. Helps with economy. That's at 350. That's at 400. It's been like that for some time. This tab here, I actually do want to bump this up now that I've changed builds. I want a higher baseline because basically I've lost, oh man, maybe 1500 or 2000 waves off previous build when before I switched to Blender. So I actually need a much higher baseline damage. So that's what I'm going to do. This tab hasn't changed, although I probably will actually now look at pumping up this tab a bit. This tab, so we have put a bit of coinage into the free ups, because this is where we're actually going to make some coin. So we've got a little bit of options now for UWs. So all my stones, I don't say like all my stones, but I'm trying to focus, like I've got 2 more clicks, and then I'm wondering if I bump the speed up reduction or if I just leave it at 55-50 and just carry on for now. Like potentially might go for inner landmines, because bosses are a pain in tournaments and that. And then it's probably something good to have in case, I don't know, am I ready to swap to glass cannon soon? Can I swap to glass cannon? Yep. Can I make it work? Yep, within a landmine, I can make it work even more. Is it going to be profitable? Probably not. So I wouldn't make as much coin if I went that route and that. But I'm thinking this is what's kind of helped me in tourneys. You know, got a little bit more liquid in coins than prior to having anything invested in CF. And I know a lot of players will say, you know, oh, it's not worth touching unless you go full tit, and otherwise it's useless, and so on and so forth. Well, yep, that's true. You know, you do feel it when you can run into problems when you get slingshots in a tournament and those sorts of things. But turn your chrono field off and do a tournament, and then see if it's not worth it. That's sort of the easiest way. Turn that thing off and then see how that crowd control works for you, and then you'll know the feels of having nothing. So something's better than nothing. It's not as much as a foot gun, as sometimes black hole can really, if you don't have enough damage and stuff like tournaments or running some sort of glass cannon setup, it actually sucks all the mobs in closer and then kaboom for. I don't really get that kind of feeling with CF. Maybe it's just the way that I set up my range in that. But what I'm trying to say, we're getting to a better place as far as crowd control goes, and I wouldn't mind getting some landmines to help us out as well. Masteries haven't changed. I did want to get more levels into this. I just haven't gotten around to it because I've been setting up the new build that we're doing. And speaking of new builds, we're on to the BHD. So we're swapped out from the G comp. Now, does that mean that we won't use G comp? We probably will eventually go back to it at some stage. It's just where we are at the moment, and maybe for quite some time. We should be pretty sweet to stick with the BHD. So I got the improvements in my runs. I think maybe 20 odd % from swapping. So what was being a pain for me earlier, because in the last couple of videos I said a number of times like I wasn't going to give up on BHD. It's obviously worked for other players. I just couldn't figure out its, you know, I was just learning stuff as I was doing these runs, and I didn't want to do weeks and weeks continuously losing out on coin as I figured stuff out. But I figured out a bunch of stuff. So obviously you want sync, so I'd have to figure out what that looks like, how I should do that. Then I figured out that ACP was not the mod for me, so I basically needed like anything but ACP. ACP was what I was doing. It was just over trimming stuff at the wrong time. I had issues with, since I don't have a permanent black hole, it's actually harder to trim because there's a lab in black hole. Most of you guys will know, but there'll be some people that don't. There's a lab that as the basics like the tanks and the range and the fast and everything gets sucked into the black hole. The black hole will slowly do damage over time to them. So that is a massive supplement to your actual damage to help you trim. And it was fine with a little small shockwave when I was running with the G comp and everything like that. Like the whole setup that I had, it was running fine. But the minute that I swapped to ACP, it's a black hole digester. The minute that I swapped to that, it was just giving me grief. So the big issue that I was running into, we could probably show it in here, and this may be just for people that are considering this at some stage. So the big problem that I was running into is that in this downtime here, so this is the start of a match, so the downtime is going to be a lot higher. But you can see all the mobs in that, they start to crowd me a lot. And then what was happening is that all be hugging my tower around the outside like this. And then I'd get like big packs. My thorns would be trimming them. My ACP will be flying out and tagging them. My gun would be shooting them. All sorts of things. It was just giving me absolute grief. It was a pain. So I figured that one out pretty fast. That I did need to change away from this. And then the other thing that was there was the other thing that was playing up. Oh, the other thing was I watched like Jay Play's video, and I'd watch like streams in Discord with tags and that, and then I couldn't figure out how their thorns wasn't over trimming for them and causing them any issues, and I couldn't figure out for a while. And then I sat there and thought, well, you know, I've seen Jay Play's video like 19 times and how to run the BHD with a free up mastery. And then I was like, it's got to be something else. And then what actually has helped surprisingly well was actually having CF. So having Chronofield up, and with the perk, I'm only got a couple seconds of downtime. It's actually helped quite a ton. And then it's just in the phase where, let's say we're like this. Let's say we're in this phase. Hey, what's going on here? So we're in this phase. I'm actually trying to keep them off. I'm trying to keep them off my bloody tower. So just like that. Like I don't want my my thorns to be killing too much. I just want to keep them away from me. I want them to get tagged from the death wave, and then I want them to be in the spotlight, and then with the spotlight perk, and then with everything kind of leveling up, it should just trim itself. So having the CF live and helping to aid in that process of with the knockback and with pushing the mobs and that away from me, I think that's probably been what has like felt like the most progress in it. Like I tried it, I was like, oh, my CF is at like getting to a fairly decent level. It's nothing to write home about, but it's getting to a pretty good level. So, you know, I'll just give it another whirl, respec the bot, synced it in, and then this is with the gains that I got this week, like an extra 20%. That's with a non-optimized BHD. So in an ideal world, would have something like health level skips, 3. You know, you can get this one, and this is helpful for me at the moment. But at some stage, this won't be helpful for me. But we're also at level 160, so we're almost at the 161, where I can consider, because what you really want is the 3 of the free up substats. So you want the defense one, the attack one, and the utility. And now I'm in a weird spot where, once I unlock this soon, do I roll off the attack level skips? Like, one of these I'll have to roll off, because I can't roll this off with the mastery. No way, fam. So one of these ones I have to roll off, and I low-key want to roll this off, but I know it'll be a pain in the butt if it ends up costing me too much, but I know it'll be good for economy. So yeah, I'm just in a little weird spot. I suppose what I could do is I could just roll 2 of these for Ancestral. It's probably going to be super expensive, but look how much it is at 160 onwards. 3,500. And that's why I wanted the free up mastery. And to be honest, I've actually noticed it quite a bit this week. I said the other week I haven't really noticed this because I wasn't even really checking or thinking about it all that much. But look, these both are at 160. These are at 159. They're not far off. Theirs is adding up, so that free up mastery is actually doing really well. But yeah, back to the BHD with you know, some pretty good rolls. I mean, we got 4 ancestral, but it's not the most optimized rolls for like a BHD build. Even with that, we took a 20% gain. You know, we got the sync going. We're at a 65-second sync. I am considering potentially lowering down the sync to 58 seconds. Oh, see, it's quite pricey. But I think if I get 1 click on that, I think that's 600. Maybe the next one's like 800 or 900 for the click. That'll take the sync down to 58 seconds, which means we'll be 7 seconds down. You know, 1 more quant. That'll be nice. You know, there's a few things we can do to get like as much uptime. Or the other thing we could do, so that's like more on the econ side. Well, the other thing we can do is we can get inner landmines, which isn't really going to do diddly squat for us at the moment in farming runs, but I feel like it's going to be super helpful in tourneys. Bosses are smashing me. They're a pain. Yeah, but that's pretty much. I can't really think about anything else or any other advice that I can get. Like, if someone's looking for trying Orbless and they go the G-Comp route, I highly recommend it. It's the easiest way to do it. The BHD route, I know, like right now off the bat, like to improve what I'm doing, I need some rolls on the mod, and you guys all know what the rolls are like for rolling on mods. I need maybe a little bit more uptime or a little bit more speed reduction in CF. Like, I don't need it, but I feel like it'll just feel a lot better. But I also need a hell of a lot of damage. Like, I've lost almost 2,000 waves in the Orbless phase just from going to the BHD, which is cool. It just means I switched to Blender faster, like from a chilled back approach, but from trying to maximize my time. I definitely need. Now, I could do the phase where I go bullet damage, then tune it down, then go Orbless with Chain Lightning, and then put cards in and that sort of thing. I did that for a bit. I'm not doing that anymore. It's just as soon as the bullets can't do it, I just go Blender. Like, I'm not sitting here mucking around with it too much. Mucking around or checking on it while it's in the Orbless bullet phase anyway is more than enough work for me. Yeah, I can't really... I definitely would recommend trying the G-Comp route first with Perma Black Hole. It's so much easier. It's a hell of a lot smoother. And then have a play with the BHD and then see what you feel like you need. Like, even when we swap to the Blender phase, just having the sync and everything and the way that BHD works, it's been, you know, it's what am I trying to say here? It's worth the coins anyway. So here's what the effect does. So the easiest way to see it, if you're a little bit unsure, watch this. 10x. Now watch this. 33x. 29x. And that's all it does. As you're skipping waves, so you'll have a baseline of the coin bonus, whatever it works out to be. And then as you're skipping waves and you get wave skips, or at the moment it's an intro sprint, that's why it's like swinging like that, because of all these free ups. But my baseline is something like 56 point something times for how the setup is. But like, it'll swing, you know, you'll see it swing into the 100x multiplier and that, and then that's kind of the idea of BHD. Now that's only with the percentage like this. You get the perks in, and then this sits at like 120 something percent or something close to that. And I need these other two just so we can get as much juice that we can from the squeeze. So the other thing that's changed in the modules, I wish I could give you guys like some more, I wouldn't say advice, but just some more things like takeaways from what I've learned. But my brain's a bit cooked at the moment. I've been playing Path of Exile all week. I got a new puppy, so a little bit tired. I have been using this. So I'd love to have this in a better role. Do I roll for it now? Oh, level 59. We need to start actually saving up. When these go level 61, I'm probably just going to put anything I can on there until I can actually save up some re-rolls. But yeah, we actually got this. So this is looking much better. It took my... In farming, it took my Chain Lightning up by maybe 1 big Q, which is pretty good, and the modest increase in the multiplier to tower damage, it was like I don't even know, 20 or something billion or something like that. It was bugger all, but it's these stats here that we really wanted: the crit factor, the super crit. I just need a little bit more saying on that, but we can re-roll that when we get time. Yeah, this Primordial, we got it to Mythic. I am 2 copies off, and then I was, like I said earlier, I was sitting there thinking, damn it, I don't actually need this thing. Like, I'm not gonna go, like, unless I had, like, the only way it would work for me right now, if it was like, how could it outbeat Multiverse Nexus, especially those young god tier rolls on that MVN. The only way it could beat it out is I'd probably have to be like GT plus, highest uptime in highest uptime in the world on GT, 50-second death wave, you know, like the thing after that, like after this and the most maximum level, players were using like Dimension Core, so that's so much duration and there's so much you know, uptime on the death wave and all that, that they were had like a farming core that was like a spare copy of a dim core in that. So it's like the opposite to that, like where you're looking for more damage would be more survivability in that. But now that we got the assist mods out here on the sides that a few people are using, like I watched Crowbar Zero and Greenies, I don't know whether it was a stream or whether it was a video, but I was watching the video that they was posted, and I think they've been trying it a bit, and I'm not too sure if it's for the damage reduction, but I know they were talking more about the effect that it does. You know, if you're pretty sure you guys are all aware. But it just fires off, boom, like that. And if you got stuff spamming out everywhere, you know, you're trying to not have any, or have minimal dead spots, like if you got chain lightning and everything going. You know, maybe working for them, not too sure. But for myself, bro, we're going to be like with Multiverse Nexus for ages. Like, I just can't see anything that can beat this at this stage. Especially with the low number of stones that I've got sitting at 24,000 stones, I can't see anything. Like, maybe if it's at 80,000 stones, I would probably be like, oh yeah, we got a few options here, lads. But yeah, not at this stage of the game for me. Lads, so I did start Shatter Shards. Unsure whether I'm going to leave it in, but at this stage I'm leaving it in. Just after seeing that jumped up to 3,500 for per level. Woof, we're gonna need as much as we can get, and then we probably actually need to put some levels in that recovery package mastery. That's probably really what we need to do, just to maximize what we can get. So yeah, this, I'm probably gonna finish it out. I feel like this lab here, like, look, that's 9 days left to go, and that's there. So you can just see how long that's taken. I'm ecstatic to think about how long level 19 or 20 the last level is going to be. I can't wait to see it. This one here, I'm actually surprised. Just like setting it and forgetting it, I'm actually surprised we're already at level 91 and it's just coming along fine. This thing here, we may or may not turn it off soon. Not really too sure. I haven't really been focused too much on labs. I've just been letting them cook and do their thing. Like there's nothing that's a priority at the moment. Like, if I was to free up a slot and go for a bit of priority, it would be the effect bands for because they're quite long, the bands for rolling modules. So I basically don't want to like roll any modules until I knock off those labs now, just because at this stage they're just so expensive. So yeah, so we may or may not swap some of these around. Haven't really been thinking it too much. And then this coins per kill, I'm probably just gonna max it just like attack speed, unless like I bought some masteries or something and I need to swap some stuff out. But at the moment, I feel like with running BHD, and I might be running BHD for a wee while yet before we go to some other sort of build. I'm gonna need as much of that kill bonus as I can. And then we go into the history, if you guys are curious. 6, so it would be somewhere around here. So yeah, bugger all labs. This is what it looks like now. Okay, bugger all achieved for the week. You know, unless I'm going to get to 5x. So that is the plan. What is the plan going forward? The plan going forward is I'm a little bit unsure in which way to go forward. So I'm unsure whether... Like, I know I said I need to get G2 Plus. But at 700 trill a day, and I reckon in sometime soon, we'll be hitting like 800 trill a day. We might be able to just start knocking out some masteries. Like, I feel like I feel like that's where we're gonna go. Like, will it be hard? Yep, of course it will. I've seen people do queues a run and do multiple of those runs a day, and have multiple masteries going, and you know, get into a bit of pinch here and there trying to budget for it. But I feel like we can get some of the low-hanging fruit. So I'm either gonna pick up landmines, get the last 2 more clicks into CF duration, and then I've got a decision to make. For landmines, the price of landmines, I could pick up 2 masteries. But I'm thinking what's going to help me in tournament. Basically the direction is what's going to help me in tournament, and then what's going to help me in farming, and what's going to help me in both. Good example is, this is going to help me in both. If I purchase that mastery, I'm going to get more damage for taunting, and I'm going to get more damage which I desperately need for farming. So that's like a win-win kind of situation. Stuff like this. Whoop. This. That's only going to help me in farming. But then it might generate me the coins that I need for, what do you call it, this one here. I don't think I can take full advantage of it, but at some stage, it'll be good. Yeah, so I'm just in a little bit of a crossroads. Good thing is that stones are slow and hard to come by. So by the time I get stones to do anything, I'm probably going to know what I'm going to do. So, if you like what you see, you know the drill, fam. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification button so you can see when the next video is coming out. And as always, keep it cloudy, fam.